How to behave and maintain a relationship. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to maintain and how to behave in a relationship. Sorry if I sound a bit unwell, it's because I have been unwell and that's the reason why I haven't posted as many videos in the last few days. Luckily, before I got sick, I did have a couple of videos that were already scheduled, but that's why there's been gaps in videos. I haven't been well. It's not been the virus that we all know and love, that I've come to know and love over the last couple of years. It was just a cold. But it took me out for quite a few days, so I'm really sorry if I sound a bit nasally, and this video will be a bit more relaxed because I'm still not 100%, so I hope you understand. So today I'm going to be talking about how to maintain and how to behave in relationships, so you can basically have a long-lasting relationship and to keep the magic alive long term, so you can just have a happy, healthy relationship throughout your life that will be less likely heading towards divorce or you two separating in some other kind of way if you're not married. So the first thing that's really important to know about relationships and maintaining them and how to behave in them is communication. So if you can get your communication down like really, really well, and you encourage your partner to communicate with you very well as well, then your relationship should remain pretty easy and effortless, right? Communication is like the huge one. One of the most important things about communication is learning how to listen, right? Obviously there's like that old saying like God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and that's obviously because listening is really, really important. So now it's really important that you learn how to listen effectively, because there's a right and wrong way of listening, right? So you can actually hear what people say, but are you actually taking it in? Like when your partner talks to you, are you actually like trying to understand what they're saying? Like you can hear it, you can let it go through your ears, but are you actually retaining that information that they've given you? And are you actually trying to understand it? So when your partner comes to you and they're talking to you about something, one of the best ways that you can retain the information is by listening to them as if someone is telling you a story. Because most likely they are probably telling you a story. So first of all, the first thing you need to do is you need to stop whatever it is that you're doing, because if you're multitasking, so let's say you're watching TV and listening to them at the same time, or you're on your phone and you're trying to listen to them at the same time, you're not multitasking. You are doing both of those things ineffectively, right? It's best to just focus when someone is trying to speak to you. So stop whatever it is that you're doing and listen to your partner. And when they're talking to you, try and imagine you in their situation. So if they come to you and they say, I had an argument with this colleague at work and this is what was happening, and they start telling you that, imagine yourself in that situation. Imagine that you are them. Imagine that you are your partner, and imagine it in your head as if while they're telling you the story, basically, to help basically put you in their shoes, because most of all what they want from you is they want you to understand them. They want to feel understood, and if you put yourself in their position, then you'll be in an opportunity more to actually understand what they're going through. So that's one key, right, in doing that, in proper listening. Another thing that you can do to show that you've understood your partner, because again they want to feel understood, is by actually repeating back some of the things that they've said to you. So if they said, I had an argument with so-and-so, this colleague that I have in the office, you can be like, okay, so he had an argument at the office with this colleague. Is that what happened? And they're like, yeah, that's what happened. And you say to them, okay, so what else happened? What happened? Keep on asking them questions about it so they can open up, and they feel like you actually care about them, right? Because obviously they want to feel understood, and they also want to feel like you care about them. And if you are repeating back some of the things that they're telling you so you can understand further, it'll make them realize that you actually care about them. So while they're telling you the story, and they may say something like, it made me really angry when they said this, you can say like, hang on a minute, just so I understand, they said this to you and it made you feel angry, is that right? And they'll be like, yeah, that's exactly right. So as you can see, like if you just repeat some of this stuff back, imagine yourself in their shoes, and as if they're telling you a story and you're putting yourself in their position, That will help you really understand this person, and it'll make them feel understood by you, and they'll love you for it. They'll love the fact that you actually care, that you actually are interested in their life. Another thing to do to show that you're a good listener, to show that you actually really care about their life, is to ask them more questions about them. Ask them to elaborate. Even if it's the most boring story ever, right? Even if you don't really care about what they're talking, what they're saying to you. The thing is, if you ask more questions about it, if you focus intently on what they're saying, you will eventually become more interested in it. And it may be a case that, oh God, I really want to go back and watch the game I was watching, or I really wish I could continue watching this TV show, or I really wish I could just, scroll on Facebook mindlessly for a few moments on my phone. Even if you really want to get back to your task, just know eventually they will stop talking to you, okay? Like, just let them talk. They will stop eventually. They will get it off all off their chest eventually. So just allow them to do that, and you can facilitate that by asking them questions like, oh, what do you mean by that? Or, oh, so that happened, is that right? Or what else happened? Or, oh, when that happened, what did so-and-so think of that? So let's say, they are having an argument with some of their colleagues, or one of their colleagues. Ask them, oh, was so-and-so around to see that, like another colleague of theirs or something? Ask them questions about it. So this is what I talk to with my wife about. If she's talking to me about a story that she's heard at work or something, I often want to know what other people at our workplace know about it. So I often say, like, oh, was so-and-so there to hear that? What did they say about that? What was their opinion on that? Stuff like that. And what it'll also do is when you come to them with a problem or a story or something that you want to get off your chest, they will also be willing to do the same to you, because if you behave in that way and you're the leader and you listen in that way and you are really attentive, they'll most likely do the same for you in the future as well. So another big important thing to understand is when someone comes to you, especially your spouse comes to you with a problem, don't assume that they want you to try and solve it for them, right? Most of the time people just want someone that will listen to them, right? And my wife has actually said this to me once. It was like a few months back, and I was trying to solve a problem for her, and she was like, I don't want you to solve it, I just want you to listen to me. She said that to me. So so if you are with someone who's very feminine, so let's say you're a guy watching this and you have a wife or you have a girlfriend that you're hoping to maintain that relationship with, don't try and fix her problem straight away. Ask her if she would like your opinion. Ask her if she just wants you to listen. Ask her if she would like you to find a solution for her. Ask those questions. And most of the time, she'll probably just want you to listen to her and just be that kind of person who will talk to her about it and be interested in what she has to say. And then you can go through those rules that I've talked about previously about how to listen effectively. And if she does want your opinion or wants you to help her find a solution, then you can do that as well. But when in doubt, it's always best to ask. And personally, I try and ask that anyway, no matter what. So another way to behave and maintain a relationship long term is to continue treating your partner the same way you did at the beginning of the courtship, when you first started dating, like those first initial dates. Because usually what happens is two people start dating, they're really into each other, they get into a relationship, and then things start to simmer down and you start to become comfortable, you get into a routine, things get a bit boring, you stop going out with each other, you stop going to the cinema, you stop dating each other, you stop going to restaurants and doing things together, you stop spending time with each other. So basically what you want to do to maintain that relationship is to follow the rule of the way you got your partner is how you keep your partner. So just think back on what you did at the beginning of the relationship when you first started dating each other, and then just basically continue to do that throughout your life. Now, of course, sometimes life happens and things can get busy, and you might not be able to date them as often or as much as you did when you first started dating, because you might have kids, you might have other work commitments now, you might have just more responsibilities in general. But the rule is that try and find at least 2 times a month where you can, have a few hours together doing things like what you did when you first started dating. Like going out to restaurants, going to the movies, going out for long walks together, and just treating them basically how you treated them when you first started dating them. And one of the things that I do to kind of channel this is I kind of channel my feelings back to when I first met my wife and how exciting it felt and how I thought when I looked at her and how beautiful I thought she was and things like that. I kind of channel that energy and then try and express that through the dates that I'm on with my wife. Because, sometimes you do get accustomed to the person that you're with. Even though I think my wife is beautiful, obviously I don't have such a huge crush on her, that kind of like those crush feelings as I did like when I did at the beginning of the relationship, because obviously then things are new and fresh. So I kind of channel those memories and those feelings that I had at the beginning when I'm on a date with my partner, with my wife. And when we're together, like I channel that, and therefore those feelings stay fresh and those feelings stay alive in me because I think about them often and I dwell upon how I felt and I just mimic it, right? And you have to kind of do this in order to keep that passion, in order to keep that magic alive long term. So that's just something else as well that you can do. Just keep on dating, keep on courting your partner, even when things get busy, if you can. Make that effort and make that time. Also, keep taking care of yourself. Don't let your body slip. Because often, you get like relationship weight and stuff like that when you get into a relationship. So try and keep, your body healthy as well. Try also to keep your hygiene good. Try to stay nice and trim as well. Keep your grooming habits like how you did when you first met them as well. Just try and take care of yourself. It's like the old saying, I'll take care of me for you and you take care of you for me. It's kind of like that. So that's also something else to consider. And that's my advice on how to behave and how to maintain a relationship long term.